Shall we start or wait for another few minutes? Hello? हेलो.
स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं सर 30 लोग हैं.
स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं या वेट करें?
5 मिनट वेट कर लो सर. लेट 30 होंगे वो भी आ जाएंगे.
Everybody is ready, then I'll start. Okay? If everybody is ready, then I'm going to start. All right? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the next unit is mining big data. So there is we talked about big data. Big data came up and became prominent year 2011, and that's where some Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, all these things came up, and the data became structured, semi-structured, and unstructured, all type of data. You use all type of languages and all that. So friends use different languages and all that. Spy use different language. Fraud people use different language. You have seen the people who have been passing information from one country to another have been caught recently and they have been punished and all these things. So all these things are there. So big data is the important data. So we'll talk about similarity of data, checkered similarity sets, document similar sets, collaborative filtering and set similarity. Then we'll talk about shingles. We'll talk about mini hashing. Then we'll talk about locality sensitive hashing. Then we'll talk about the various distances. We talked earlier Euclidean distance and Hampton distance. Now we'll talk about more Jacob distance, cosine distance, edit distance, Hamming distance, and then other techniques. So that type of thing we'll study in this chapter. So we had talked about big data, and then we have to explain through the unit. You will be able to explain different techniques of finding similar items, explain the process of the collaborative filtering process, use shingling to find similar documents, and explain various techniques to measure the distance between the two objects. There, so you have different ways. You only not Euclidean distance. You are having so many distances. Define supervised and unsupervised learning that we have talked in AI. Lot of time supervised and unsupervised learning. Again, we are repeating it, but we'll just go briefly. So finding similarity item. So problem definition. So purpose of finding similar items. You may like to classify web pages that are using similar words. You may like to find the आप अगर रिसर्च कर रहे हो किसी के रिसर्च को कॉपी कर रहे हो पैलग्रिज्म हो रहा है that also is a similar items हो जाता है. Another interesting use of similar items is entity resolution when you need to find out if it is the same person across different applications like e-commerce, website, and all that. Two or more web pages amongst millions of web pages may be identical. These web pages may be plagiarized. So that is the research papers are plagiarized. This is also plagiarized or a manner of simple website. So कॉपी अगर 100% कॉपी करा हो जस्ट 70% 50% कॉपी करा हो अगर आप प्रोजेक्ट लिख रहे हो प्रोजेक्ट में आप सारा बुक से कॉपी कर रहे हो या कहीं से कॉपी कर रहे हो या किसी और का प्रोजेक्ट से कॉपी कर रहे हो दैट इज plagiarism which should not be done because it's a very big offense and that creates a problem for the people. Why finding similar items of problem is there? One of the ऐसे बताया कि पेपर पर रिसर्च पेपर पर बुक्स पर वेबसाइट पर सब पर सिमिलरिटी जो हो तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है. One of the simplest way to find similar items would be to compare two documents or web pages and determine if they are identical or not. So that type of thing. Next, we first discuss a technique for finding the similarity of sets, followed by technique that can be used to find similar item sets efficiently. Finding similar set. In this section, we discuss one of the measure that is the Jacob similarity of test sets. So Jacob similarity is defined in the context of sets. Consider two sets, sets A and set B. Then the Jacob similarity JSAB is defined as the ratio of the cardinality of the set A and B and cardinality of A or B. The value of JSAB, that is Jacob similarity sets, can vary from 0 to 1. The following equation gives that A and B upon A or B. So that's the type of, for example, consider the set A is this, B is this, then the Jacob similarity due to a set would be A, D, C, D, F, G is C, D, E, A, D, G, C, F, G, 3 by 7. So because that's A, B, C, D, E सी डी ई तो है लेकिन एफ जी नहीं है तो इसमें से ये 5 जे और एफ जी जे होके तो ए बी सी डी ई एफ जी पूरा हो जाएगा और उसमें जो सिमिलर है वो सी डी ई सिमिलर दोनों में CDE is similar, so that's where CD is on the top, 3 by 7 हो जाता है. So that's the uh, checkered, that's a checkered similarity sets. सो डॉक्यूमेंट सिमिलैरिटी, इसी तरह डॉक्यूमेंट का सिमिलैरिटी की पैलग्रिज्म चेकिंग करना होगा कि पैलग्रिज्म टेक्स्ट में डिफर इन स्मॉल सेगमेंट, थोड़ा सा लिया होगा, ज़्यादा लिया होगा, कितना लिया होगा, हाउ मच यू हैव टेकन, दैट डिपेंड्स अपॉन हाउ मच पैलग्रिज्म यू हैव डन. सो सिमिलरली न्यूज़ रिपोर्ट्स, अगर एक रिपोर्ट आप फेक रिपोर्ट दे रहे हो, दैट अगेन बिकम्स प्रॉब्लम. सो यू ट्राई टू सी कि कहाँ से, अगर आप देखिए वो कह रहे थे आदमपुर has been destroyed, whereas Prime Minister has gone and shown that Adampur is perfectly safe. So that type of thing which is there. So that type of thing. Collaborating, filtering, and set similarity. So in the past decades, e-commerce has gained acceptance by customers. So similarity, the sets is used to address this problem. Two customers can be in a similar customer group if they purchase and like similar products. So by jacket set similarity and all these things, that type of thing. There's so link analysis. So देखिए ये वो जैसे जैकेट सिमिलरिटी दिस ए बी बी ए बी है, सो 4/6 2/3 जैसे वो करा था वैसे वो करा. फाइंड सिमिलर डॉक्यूमेंट्स, उस शिंगल्स क्या है, create that is, in order to define the term shingle, let us first try to answer the question how to represent a document in a set as a set of items so that you can find lexicographically similar documents. One way would be to identify words in the document. However, the identification of words itself is a time consuming problem and would be more useful if you are trying to find the semantic of the sentences. One of the simplest and efficient way would be to divide the document into smaller subsetting characters, say by size of 3 to 7. And the advantage of the division is that for almost common sentences, many of the subsettings, substrings would match despite small changes in their. अगर आपने अपने सेंटेंस कहीं से कॉपी करा है, कहीं अपने सेंटेंस लगाए हैं, वो पैलगिज्म फिर भी हो जाएगा. तो उसमें जो सिंगल का है, ब्रेक कर दीजिए उसको 3 to 7 वर्ड्स में, एंड फ्रॉम देयर यू कैन से ऑल यू सी द बिट बाय बिट, जैसे उसमें देखो जो करो, अल्टीमेटली यू विल फाइंड देयर similarity between the two so that you can saw that. So one of the way reducing the data would be to use hash function instead of shingles. For example, assume that a hash function maps a 9-byte substring to an integral hash bucket number. Assuming that the size of the integer is 4 bytes, then the hash function maps something like 27 raised to power 9. Possible 9 shingles in this 2 raised to power 4 into 8 minus 1, that is 2 raised to power 32 minus 1 possible buckets. So these are the questions. So mini hashing, you can observe the set of shingles of a document in general is a large, even if we reduce the set using mini hashing of shingles in a smaller size. So bytes को कम भी करते जाएंगे फिर भी हो जाता है. So that's a the document of set 1, document of set 2 is 3, 4, 1, 4, 1 to 4. These documents can be represented using the following matrix of single document 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, set 1, set 2, set 3, set 4. So that's the matrix representation of documents, and this you can compute the jacket similarity of these documents or set of this by number of rows having ones in column of both the this. So इसमें एक दो है, इसमें दो है, इसमें भी दो है, इसमें तीन है, इसमें एक है. So that's what, so you will say 1/4, 0/5, 1/5, 1/3, 2/4, 2/3. ऐसे बन जाता है सर. So this is also same thing. You can look at it. Minhas signature matrix. This you can just go through. You will find it is simple and quite interesting. Locality sensitive hashing वो भी आप पढ़ लीजिए. You will find it is very okay, simple है. So you won't find difficulty in reading it. So you can go through this. You can find out there is a problem. If there is a problem, we can discuss it. Now distance. डिस्टेंस हमने पहले एआई में भी करा था. उसमें इक्विलिडियन डिस्टेंस तो सिंपल है. तो स्क्वायर का अंडर रूट लेके करते हैं. Whereas the other Manhattan distance is y1 minus x1 bar of this whole this distance. उसको distance measure करते हैं xy का. ये distance xy is Manhattan distance is given by x y1 minus xy square under root. This is the distance by m is equal to 2. This is m is equal to 1 and m is equal to. Then Zecker distance is SAB, A and B, A or B. So it's 1 minus SAB, 1 minus this. So that becomes the distance. Cosine distance is AB is equal to A into B cosine theta. So 2 under root and 1 in cosine theta, cos theta is 0, r theta is equal to 90. So that's अगर 0 होगा तो 90 हो जाएगा. Edit distance can be done by this distance is may be used to determine the distance between the two strings. It can be defined as follows. Consider two strings: string A consisting of n characters, B consisting of m characters. Then edit distance between the two strings is the minimum number of operations that are required to make strings identical. So that's the distance. So you got the edit distance AB is equal to 6 plus 5 minus 2 into 4 into 3. So that's the type of n plus m minus 2 into IS. So that's the Hamming distance is vector A, vector B. Difference is y by n no है. So it's the Hamming distance between the vector A and B is 4. Why it is 4? Because इसमें वन 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 ये वाई वाई जो है दीज आर दी डिस्टेंसेस. ये 0 1 1 0 1 0 so y four distances. A B is four distance. The Hamming distance between the vectors A and B is 4. You may verify the Hamming distance also. Satisfy the properties of a distance measure. You may also use any of these distance measure based on the type of, because देखो डेटा का तो ठीक मेजर हो सकता है डिस्टेंस एक किलोमीटर से, लेकिन स्ट्रिंग का डिस्टेंस मेजर करना मुश्किल होता है, ऐसे नहीं होता. तो इसलिए जैकोबियन करते हैं, जैकेट करते हैं, जहाँ और डिस्टेंस मेजर करते हैं. सो दैट डिस्टेंस ऑफ स्ट्रिंग्स आर डिफरेंट देन द डिस्टेंस ऑफ डेटा पॉइंट्स. So that's important. So introduction to other technique. So textual analysis. Textual data is produced by a large number of sources of big data. So that is structured information extraction from the instruction textual. The purpose here is to generate information from the data that can be shared for a longer duration and can be reprocessed easily if needed. So if, for example, the government may find the list of the medicine that are being prescribed by doctors in various cities by analyzing the prescription given by the doctors in different patients. Such analysis would essentially require recognition of entries such as doctor, patient, disease, medicine, etc., and all that. Meaningful summarization of singles or multiple documents, questioning, answering, and all that. Sentiment analysis. Such analysis used to determine the opinion or perception of feedback about a product or service. Election में भी ये sentiment analysis use होती है. That's what it is. Audio video analysis. The purpose of audio and video analysis is to extract useful information from speech data and all that. So social media data analysis. predictive analysis, supervised unsupervised learning, ये आपने पहले ही करा हुआ है. So that's it. So basically, in this section, in this chapter, we are talking about the algorithm. We are talking about the distance, various distances between the strings, between the data, and from equilibrium to Jacquard, from Hamming distances. All these distances are important. Distances are important because they are when the things are there, two strings are there. How do you find the distance between them so that they overlap, they become similar, and all that. So I have talked about plagiarism very seriously because you prepare the documents and then copy it, which is wrong. Should not copy. You should write in your own English, in your own words. You can take material from the books, but write it in your own language. You can take figure from the book, refer that this figure has been taken from such and such book. You can refer program which has been used for your project and say that this program has been used from the Microsoft or from my friends or whatever it is, something like that. So that is important for this. So that covers up this unit. I hope you understand it. It's clear because you are taking similarity and also the distance. These are the two basic things. So similarity में तो plagiarism वगैरह सब आ जाता है, but in the distances you have various distances which you are measuring because the strict distances, point distances, and all these are important. Is it okay? Any question on that? You understand the distances, distance between the strings, Jacker distances you had to work out. So that's where the okay. Hello,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
सब समझ गए हो?
Yes,
Can
sir.
you? Okay. So we go to the second next. So now mining data stream. That was mining data. Now it is mining data stream. So model of data stream processing, queries of data stream, example of data stream and queries, issues and challenges of data stream, sampling in data stream, example of representation sample, data stream, Bloom filter, algorithm to count different elements in a stream, and that's it. So in the previous unit of this block, you have gone through the concept relating to the mining of the big data, where the difference, distance measure, and techniques were discussed. So here we'll define the characters of the data streams, discuss models of the data stream processing, explain the use of data stream, illustrate the example of data stream queries, explain the role of Bloom filter in data stream, explain an algorithm related to data stream processing. So what is data stream? Usually the data resides in a database or a distributed file system from where user can access the same data repeatedly as it is available to the user whenever they need it. But there are some application where the data doesn't reside in the database, or it doesn't database is so large the user cannot query it fast enough to answer questions about it. One such example is data being received from weather satellite. Answering queries about the sort of data requires clever approximation technique and method of compressing data in a way that allows us to answer the queries we need. The mining data stream is a process to extract knowledge to real time. जब ये देखिए सैटेलाइट से बहुत से पिक्चर आती है, उसके कौन सा डेटा, कौन सा कैसे, कौन सा कलर, कौन सा वेदर इवेंट बिकम्स इम्पोर्टेंट, is it a cyclone becoming, hurricane becoming, and all these things are important. So continuously, and the satellite picture में changes भी होते रहते हैं, but what you are seeing, not once in 24 hours, you are seeing four times in a 24 hours or six times 24 hours. So that type of, you see the modeling, changing of the cloud structure, changing of the cloud pictures and all that. Model for data stitching processes. As stated in the previous section, infinite amount of data arrives continuously in a data stream. Assume D is the data stream, and that is the T1 team, where T1 IS transaction, T2 is the second transaction, T3, etc., etc. There are three different models of data stream processing, namely landmark, sliding, window, and damped. As on should be get discussed as follows: A, B, C, D, F, G, landmark. This is the sliding window. देखो इसमें A, B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D, A सेम है. B, C, A, B, C, it's also same because A, B, C, A, B, C. So ये देखो B, C, D, बी सी ए बी सी, ये देखो डी सी एफ ए और ए बी सी. तो ये विंडो टी वन टी टू एंड टी थ्री बन जाता है. सो दीज आर द बी सी ए बी सी. तो ये थ्री विंडोज इसको बना के तो उसको स्लाइडिंग विंडोज कर सकते हैं. तो डिस्क्रीट डैम्प्ड विंडो कर सकते हैं, वेटिंग करके डिक्रीजिंग कर सकते हैं एंड ऑल दैट. मॉडल फॉर डेटा प्रोसेसिंग, सो दैट लैंडमार्क मॉडल्स कर सकते हैं. So, sliding window models and damped models. Data stream management, damped model आप पढ़ लीजिए. The model is also called the time fading model as it assigns more weight to the recent transaction. Okay, recent transaction को ज़्यादा weight देता है. Data stream management, database management system, and data, for example, the data stream management system, data as DSMS, data stream management system, and data management system, database management system. These are the two which are described here. Data stream management is who controls how data enters into the system. In a DSMS, the management cannot control the rate of input. For example, the search queries that arrive at Google search engine are generated by random people around the globe who search for information at their respective pace. Google staff literally has no control over the rate of arrival of queries. They have to design and architect their system in such a way that it can easily deal with the varying data rates. So that's again because हर जगह everywhere people are sitting and asking for the Google. You are going to Google and asking the various queries. You are asking speaking, or you are writing, or you are doing this. IPL हम कर देख रहे हैं तो हम we go to the Google and go for IPL and then immediately we get the information and all that. So that type of thing they have to ensure that adequate information is given in shortest possible time. So that is the data stream management system. These are the storage, वहाँ से सारा output ये data system. So all these are ad hoc queries, output streams, working storage. इसमें से finite working storage है, लेकिन this is the total archival storage and all that. Processor, stream entering, output and all that. That's the type of thing. Archival storage, limited working storage, queries of data stream, add ad hoc queries. There is a similar in the way we query a database system in which we make a query once and expect an answer to the query based on the current state of the system. So मैच हो रहा है, हम पूछे अभी मैच की क्या पोजीशन है, या 2 घंटे पहले क्या पोजीशन थी. Standing queries, in the type of query, the user write the query once. However, as compared to the ad hoc query, the difference is that here the user expects the system to report the answer available at all time, perhaps outputting a new value each time the answer changes. That type of thing. So these are, you can see how Google or Yahoo or Wikipedia manage their query system so that the query is available. आप जीपीएस देखिए, आप कहीं से कहीं जा रहे हो, immediately you get the information on the GPS, very very factual information on the GPS. Mining click streams are another source of very rapid input. A site like Yahoo has many millions of users each day, and the average user probably clicks a dozen times or more. A question worth answering which URL are getting uh, clicked a lot more are in the past 1 hour than normal. Interestingly, while some of these events reflect breaking news stories, many also represent a broken link. For instance, when people cannot get the page they want, they often click on it several times before because you get so fed up, you keep on clicking, nahi aa raha, result nahi aa raha, nahi aa raha. You keep on clicking. IP packet can be monitored, issue and challenges of data stress. All these things are, you can read it. Data sampling and data stream, you can just read this. This is a very simple way of this. Representing samples and all these things is important. You can see that. So you can just go through this sampling key values pairs, all simple, no problem. Filtering of data stream, ये देख लीजिए. Filtering of data stream, Bloom filter का बता रहे हैं. So this is Bloom filters enables us to select only those terms in the stream that are on same list or a set of items. In general, Bloom filter is used for cases where the number of items or the list of set is so large that you cannot do it comparison of each stream element with element of the list of the check of this. So need of Bloom filter is, let us explain the need for Bloom filter. Web crawler performs many crawling. The crawler maintains a list of the URLs. It assigns these URL and all these things. You can see this. However, it is not expected to have the same URL to get into the first list twice. So, but the number of URL are extremely large, and you know what a URL is, and such an index will not fit. So that's where you see. Therefore, you need a Bloom filter. So that's it. Working as a Bloom filter. देख लीजिए, Bloom filter itself is a large array for bits, perhaps several times as many bits as there are possible elements in the stream. The array is manipulated through a collection of hash functions. Each hash function maps a stream element. During initialization, the bits of the array are initialized in 0. Now, when a stream element says x arrives, we compute the value of hx for each hash function h that are to be used, and so on and so forth. So that's the example of blue filter. देख लीजिए. So that's a, you can look into it. You can do it, and algorithm to count different elements in stream. Pick a hash function for each stream element u and this and all that. So इसमें example दिया हुआ है, binary position of this so that you can look into it. So that covers up this unit. This is a small unit which talks about Bloom filters and all these things. And so you can look it up. You can see it and see that example of Bloom filter. You can just go through this. You will find it interesting, and it's easy to do. Next, we go to the लिंक एनालिसिस ये कर लेते हैं, देन विल जस्ट डू द थ्री, बाकी पांच यूनिट रह जाएंगे, वो हम नेक्स्ट टू क्लासेस में कर लेंगे. Introduction to link analysis, page ranking, difference mechanism for finding the page rank, web structure, and all these things. So you can see that. So this is the objective: is define link analysis, use graph to perform link analysis, perform explain computation of page rank, discuss different technique for computation of page rank, and use map reduce and all that page rank. So that type of thing. So introduction to link analysis, the data analysis technique used to network theory to analyze the links of web page. So the graph are used everywhere. For example, Twitter, Facebook, and all these other purpose of link analysis is to create connection in a set of data that can actually be represented as a network or the network of information. For example, internet computer router communicating with each other, which can be represented as a dynamic network of nodes, which represent the computer and router. The edges of the network are physical links between these machines. Another example is web, which can be represented by a graph. Okay, so representing of www as a graph. पेज रैंकिंग क्या होता है? Page rank is an algorithm that was designed for initial implementation of the Google search engine. The page rank is defined an approach for computing the importance of web page in a big back page. Page rank basic concept is a page or node is a graph, and it's important that the number of links it has. So concept of page rank score of a graph. The node B has a very high page rank. Node C has relatively high page rank. So on, so that you can see that figure one shows this is the figure one. So this is 2%, 2%, 2%, 5%, 10%, 3%, 40%. This B and C have larger thing, others have small place. So that's where say B and C has a high growth, whereas others are small things and all that. Different mechanism of finding page marks, page rank. About the basic concept that we can use for page rank. This section provides detail on page rank computation. Different mechanism of finding page rank. Each link is considered as a vote, and the importance of given vote is proportional to the importance of the source web page. Suppose that there is a page which is with an importance RI, RJ. The page J has n outgoing links. The importance Rj of page J basically gets split between all its outgoing links evenly. This is how the importance get divided from to the pages it points to. And in a similar way, you can define the importance of a node as the sum of the votes that it receives for n links. Figure 2 shows similar this. So this is, for example, r by 3, r by 3, r by 3, r by 3, r by 2, and all that. So then you see a graph to calculate scores of this. This is so because page I has 3 out of links and page K has 4 out of link. Page 4, क्या होगा? Page I has it has 3, 1, 2, 3. I has 3 out links and page K has 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. It has 4. Why I has 3? 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. I has 3. K has 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. J has 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So the score of page J further gets propagated outside of J along with the 3 outgoing links. So each of these links get the importance of node J divided by 3. J divided by 3. That's it. So I has one, two, three links. K has one, two, three, four links, whereas J has to be divided by 3. So that's where the link is decreased. Is it okay? So you can see that I has I has one, two, three links. K has one, two, three, and four links. That's it. And J has the links here, three. So the flow model, A has a self link and then it points to B. Next figure में दिखा रहा है ये A has a very simple A has A by 2 and then it has a link with B. So A has self link and then it points to B. B points to A and C. B points to A and C. B points to A and C because both up and downs are both arrows are positive and negative. Both are there. B has A and C, and C points backward to B. C points backward to B only one point. So that's the type of thing. So the problem is this approach will work well for small graph, but it would not work for a graph which has billions web pages and all that. So web structure and associated issues उसमें separate काम करना पड़ता है. Which web page on the web almost you must. Which web page are legitimate and which are fake or irrelevant. So that type of use of page rank in search engines. So that's again you can use that page rank. ये क्या है उसका you can see that node A has in link from node D and node CE both which can which has two out links. So say for example this has E has link here. It has link A with D with this with this. It has link with D, A, and B, whereas D has link with A, E, C, and this. It has a link with all these things. Whereas this has link with this, this, and this. It has three links. This has link with this, this, and this, and this. So it has link with all the four. One, two, three, four. But this A has link with this and D and also with B. So ये बना दिया उसने स्पाइडर ट्रैप ए बी से करता है ए बी डेड एंड डेड एंड है whereas all other tracks are open, that this is a dead end. Because this could be also dead end, but not shown there is a dead end. This is again cur- curving here, curving here. This change over to B to A and A to C to this. So that's it. ये जो बीच में लगा दिया है, ये डॉटेड दिस दैट्स बिकॉज ऑफ द कवरिंग ऑफ दिस। सो ये डॉटेड एरो लगाए है बीच से, जिससे ये सारे उसमें देख लीजिए, दैट कवर्स अप big data, structured data, semi-structured data, big data one, structured data one, semi-structured data, big data, this big, so big one and all these things. So final result is this. This is the final result. So that's the example of map producing. आपने Hadoop one, Hadoop two कल करा था, वही है उसमें map produce करने के लिए. Semi-structured data, structured data, big data, and so structured data, semi-structured data, so structured, so उसमें shuffling करते हैं, reducing करते हैं Hadoop 2 से या Hadoop 1 से. Final result is this. ये सॉफ्टवेयर है. टॉपिक सेंसिटिव पेज वर्क ये भी आप पढ़ लीजिए सर. लिंक स्पाम, hubs and authorities. So you can just go through this and then we'll discuss it more. अगर कोई डाउट होता है, we can we can discuss it. I think I'll leave it with this. ये आप एक दफा पढ़ लीजिए, then we'll discuss it. We'll have time because we'll have only 5 units to discuss next. 9, 10, 11, so 12, 13, 14 हो गया, so we'll be able to discuss it this, and then one day we can have for any questions and answers. But on next Saturday I'll also do Sophia with you so that you can understand how the robots are made, and you can take a project on plagiarism, you can take a project on sentiment analysis, you can take a project or election processes, you can take any project on that. So you can just think of what project you are doing on machine learning. That's the big data. Because big data again is a machine learning, data science and big data. उसमें भी मशीन लर्निंग होता है. लास्ट चैप्टर जो है मेरे ख्याल उसमें मशीन लर्निंग का है. So that is what is the, yes. Let me see what is the last web and social network analysis. I think next block में machine learning आता है. So इसमें long tail models, this again issues social network, network of graphs and all these things. So that's the type of thing which we'll discuss it next. So big data, your paper and AI and machine learning are becoming together very similar because same distance, similarity things are there. Same in the AI will be done, and then machine learning I think is there in the last block. 4 is basic of R programming and visualization and advanced analysis R programming. So R programming is more statistical, so that's where it is briefly discussed there. इसमें सारा program दिए हुए हैं. All these programs are mentioned there and all that. So you can look at it, and agar if you can read it, I'll welcome it so that then I can discuss more problems and I can discuss of your projects and all that uh, more clearly than otherwise, so that you are prepared for your good project which you are writing, so that that project becomes so important that it is there for your interview. And you because you have done it, because you have done it using this all the knowledge which we are gathering here, and that you do a project, and that would be a wonderful thing and all that. All right. Hello. Is it enough for this, or shall I do the fourth unit also?
Fine, sir.
It's enough.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, take care. You can relax, and if you have any question, you can frame it up. We can talk it on the next week, because I am taking class of Dr. Girdhar. Dr. Girdhar took my classes on 10th and 11th, and I am taking his classes on 24th and 25th. Right? So 24th, 25th, I am taking your class when I'll start with the Sophia, and then I'll finish the uh, AI, five chapters, 5 units, and all that. So that's a type of thing. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All the best. All the best.
थैंक यू सर. सो अटेंडेंस भी हो गया ना?
Thank you, sir.